Hey guys, and welcome to the first part of the podcast here. And today we are together with Nick, who actually is really late up. It's not like 3 o'clock in the morning in Australia right now.
3:30 where I am. I just couldn't get to sleep, so why not?
Yeah. Well, it's like almost 7 o'clock here, so we want to talk about some different things, about some topics, and maybe you will start, Nick.
Well, basically how the scam works, I think, is what a lot of people might like to know.
Yeah.
Specifically the tech support scam. A lot of people
Mm.
they're just browsing around, they're not sure what they're doing maybe. They are looking for, I don't know, some sort of free game or something free, and they get redirected to a pop-up that says there's something wrong with their computer. And to call back, here's the real scam, is usually where you see that there's a number to call back on, which is, of course, one of these wonderful places, usually in India, sometimes Pakistan, and you'll get connected through to someone who will try to set up a remote connection to your desktop computer, otherwise known as a desktop, and yeah, they'll do a whole bunch of silly things like directory listings, and in the background they'll type that you have a lot of viruses found, something like that, Face, whatever it is. But the basics of it is that they're going to tell people that they have problems with the computers, and of course they're going to scare the people and think there's a big problem, and then they're going to tell them that they have a solution for a one-time fix or a lifetime plan or anything in between that.
Yeah.
And gullible people, yeah, just,
I mean,
if you're
there's
not too
like two
tech savvy, you
ways.
might fall for it.
Yeah, they, as you say, Nick, they call you up. Probably, different people have a huge email list or sorry, number list, or they make fake virus alerts. That's pretty much how they get you on
Yeah.
it.
Well, that's how they get people calling them. A lot of the times
Yeah,
when I call them up, they say, and I'm sure you've heard this too, they say, oh, but you called us. It's
yeah,
like,
that's
yeah,
right.
your
That's
number's on the pop-up. What do you expect?
yeah, that's right. That's some excuse they use. So next topic,
Yes.
I'm really excited to talk about it. Is it okay to swear at scammers? What do you think, Nick?
Well, I have a lot of answers to this. It's a weird one. Firstly, is it okay to swear at them in English? Yeah, I think so. It depends, really. I wouldn't swear every second word, but sometimes it's fine. I'm all right with it. I don't care what other people do. Like, I know you use the Hindi swear words and, people can do what they want. That's fine. That's something I stay away from, sort of out of some weird form of respect or something. Like, if I don't know the language very well myself, it's like, well, I'm not going to only use the words that are the bad words. But, yeah, I don't know. I think it's overdone. Like, a lot of people just like to throw out damn it, I don't even want to say the words now, but you can say them for me, all those
Yeah,
words.
yeah, I know it, but I also think I remember before when people did not use scam bait, because I've been in the scam bait community for maybe 8 9 months now, almost a year,
Yeah, much longer.
longer than that.
Much
I
longer, man.
started watching videos over a year ago, but I only started my YouTube channel some 5 months, 6 months ago. But I remember when people did not swear at them, they didn't kind of get angry. Um, well, and now you
That's
get like,
probably I'm bringing that.
yeah, and now you get like just like they are getting pissed when you insult them in Hindi. Um,
Well, that's fun for a reaction, I suppose. It's an easy
yeah,
way to get a reaction out
yeah,
of them. But me personally, I would rather them get pissed at me because I'm just speaking logically to them. That's more
yeah,
fun.
yeah,
Like where I'll point out IP addresses and say, you realize that can't even be routed on the public internet. It's a private IP address. And you just talk to them in terms that they don't even understand. Like they've spent the last half hour trying to drown me in technical terms, and I'm sitting there sort of trying not to laugh. And then I start pointing things out to them that they've never heard of, and then they get pissed off. That's even better for me anyway.
yeah. Well, I don't have anything more to talk about that. And how to react for non-tech reliable people.
Oh yeah, the non-tech literate people. Like, okay, there are a lot of people out there who just aren't that great with computers, which is fine.
Well,
I don't think anything less of those people. But like
well,
my
sorry.
mother got a phone call from that's okay. My mother got a phone call from one of these people about 4 years ago,
Mm,
and at the time I was studying computer systems engineering. So she's like, I don't know what to do with this. He says there's a problem with the computer, so she handed the phone to me, and I I knew it was full of shit, basically. So I mean, I can swear in English. I'm fine with that. But I knew it was full of shit. So I just asked the guy, okay, all right, let's just assume what you're saying is right. Then what's my IP address? Just answer that. And he couldn't. He kept sort of skirting around the question. And like, I live in Victoria, state of Australia, and for me to get a phone call saying there's something wrong with my computer and he can't give me my IP address is like someone from Vic Road saying, oh, you've got a speeding ticket, and I ask him, what's my license plate? And he can't give me that. Like, get fucked. You don't have a clue. Like, this is just full of it. So that was my reaction at the time. I've gone a little bit off tangent there, but basically the point is my mother was tech illiterate. She still is. How to react to them if you don't have anyone nearby to deal with it. You know, you could just close the pop-up. We can get into how that's done. Some people like to play with them even if they're not very tech savvy, so you can just talk about stupid things for a long time, tie up their time. I've had people comment on my videos saying that that's what they do. They'll talk about, I don't know, chicken nuggets or just think of any stupid shit, just you know, stuff like that, or even just pretend to be at the PC. You might be at the beach or something, say, yeah, I'm booting up my PC, it says welcome or something. Yeah, what do I do now? Just, you know, eventually they are going to hang up. That even the scammers can run out of patience. So yeah, that's my take on it.
Yeah, well, I actually got a interesting. Well, it's too bad because I know this sounds really strange. I talked about it in my scambait community, Nick. I'm not sure if you read it, but when I said I got hacked by a scammer. It was a really intelligent scammer. I really lost the recording. I'm not even kidding. My father saw it. It's really strange because it was not deleted, all the 3 recordings, but I met an intelligent scammer who knew a lot more. I think he actually knew more about me. What I think is really interesting is why he's doing the scam if he knows so much about computers. I logged into one of my fake Facebook accounts to see just to try to. He said like, "Oh, I will log into my Facebook." Well, the interesting thing is he actually captured my password. And
Well,
I think which my conclusion is I could not check Task Manager because it was disabled at that point. But I think he ran a keylog or something. He said that somehow he hacked into my virtual network. So.
well, yeah, I did hear about you having that sort of Facebook issue with the passwords, and it's possible. It's definitely possible because these people with the remote connection software can send files over that, and a lot of the times, as you know, they will just minimize the interface so they don't, you know, where the chat window is and all that sort of thing, so you don't see
well, it did not show
what
in
they're
the
doing.
chat window. So I mean, because it was from a different software that you normally use. I think it was
Yeah,
something
they've
called
done that to me.
support.com or something. I'm not sure.
They're doing strange things, especially these days. Like I had one that I haven't uploaded because it just was pretty boring scam bait anyway, but I had a virtual, not a virtual machine within a virtual machine. I'd love to do that, but I had a remote support connection within another remote support connection. So he got me through to support.me, right? And then he's acting like he's still not connected, but I'm seeing the mouse cursor being moved around, and then he went to another one. I forget what it was. I'd have to look at the recording.
Yeah.
And that took a lot of access away from me. But I was still able to use Wireshark and grab his IP and show that to him and his location and all that.
Just to be curious, holy shit, I was actually kind of panicked there. I was kind of
Oh yeah.
scared.
Yeah.
I will admit that. I actually uninstalled VMware just to disconnect my virtual connection from my computer. He said he sent screenshots. The fun part, he did not want to show me them or tell me what was on it. So.
I love calling them bluffs and
if
things
he,
like that.
I mean, if he actually hacked my computer, why would he even connect to it? He said, you need to connect to a real computer. So, and I didn't think he will delete them because if he had the chance, he will probably delete my whole computer and not only the 3 files because I'm pretty sure he also did not know what they are. They're just lost now.
Yeah, I mean, or at least if he had some ransomware or something like that, you know. Like he could, if he could just not delete everything, but if he had some sort of software like a ransomware, then he could do that like, you know, your Trumpware, except the real deal, you know. And he could maybe then send a message to you somehow, email, something like that, because if he has access to your computer, he could at least find out what your email address is, I would think.
Yeah.
So if he could lock up the computer and not delete anything, but say, okay, now I've proved my point, do you believe me now? Do you want everything gone? Because I can delete it. But
Yeah.
that's what I would have done if I was him.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get into the mind of a scammer who's also a, terrible individual. But you had the question before, like, why do they scam if they know a lot about computers as
Yeah,
well?
that's also what I'm wondering. Maybe he's somebody that makes pop-ups for them or something. I met a scammer who is called Mukesh Kahan. We'll get into that later also. But
Sure.
I forgot one topic is how do you think we can stop these scammers?
Well, there are things we can do, such as reporting them to their ISPs, if you can find that. You can report them to the places like LogMeIn, the remote connection places.
Hmm?
Anything that actually provides them with the tools to do what they do.
Yeah, that
It's a little bit like software piracy. It's like, how if you, let's just say theoretically, if you're downloading a game or any piece of software illegally, then if they find out you're doing that, they're going to report you to your ISP. So they put the responsibility on the ISP. And so your ISP is going to send you an email, some sort of cease and desist. So yeah, you can't take this. It's hard to take the scammers themselves straight to court, especially the authorities in India will not do that. I don't think. It's just not in their interest to do that. It's not in the interest for the police to do that. But on the other hand, if you can find information about their ISP, anyone who provides the tools to do what they do, the log me in, just anything, even if you could find their phone provider or their VoIP provider, because those people are doing legitimate things. That like log me in. There's nothing malicious about log me in. It's just what the scammers do with it. So if you can find their ISPs and send the ISPs a letter or something like that, and you can say, look, do you realize one of your customers, that is the scammer, is doing this? So if they don't react, then you can start reporting the ISP or whoever the provider is, because as I said, these people are legitimate, not the scammers, but the people who provide the services
yeah.
for the scammers. So if you can threaten them, then they're probably just going to say, they're just going to drop the scammers like a hot potato. They're just going to say, I want nothing to do with these fucking people because, they're doing illegal things and using our services. So that's one thing you could do.
Well, I actually reported them to the Indian police. I found the local police. I got Skype credit, and when I found Mukesh Khan's personal info, I tried to report it. The first time they said they was to a meeting. No, sorry. The first time they disconnected the line. Second time, I tried to call them. They said they were in a meeting, and I could call them back 1 hour later. They just straight hung up. So
yeah, that was bullshit.
Yeah.
There was no meeting.
No.
They were buying time.
So we got another here. Closed pop-up talk about non-stupid things for a long time.
Yeah. Well, I sort of talked about that before with the chicken
Yeah.
nuggets or whatever it is. Just talk about silly things.
Yeah.
Closing the pop-up is the easiest thing. Like if you are actually
Yeah,
at
but-
work or getting work done, then and you
But
don't
I'm
want to
not
deal
sure
with it.
people actually know how to use Task Manager. And the some problems is when you start up your browser again, you need to it just straight went to the website, so you need to clear your browser history, also your cookies
That's a
and
good
stuff like that. So,
Yeah, you could explain at least how to close the pop-ups, and if you want to do the browser history thing, we can go through that. But that's getting into the task manager, so I would go to the taskbar at the bottom of the screen, right-click, go to task manager, then find, Firefox, Chrome, whatever it is that you have as your browser with the problematic pop-up. You right-click on that, and then you click on End Task. So that's pretty much how you get rid of those pop-ups in the short term anyway.
Yeah, well, this is actually interesting because I know there's a lot of different opinions on this, but do you think we should have sympathy with them?
Yeah, that's another one where I'm not very black and white. On the whole, no, we shouldn't have sympathy. And I understand anyone who says they should all be in jail with no rights or anything like that. I understand it. But it is India and it's a third world country, and the average wage is a lot lower than what they get doing this scamming bullshit. Some of them are probably like, there's no public health system over there as far as I know. There's no sort of public welfare system. So some people are probably very close to dying of starvation. So I can sort of understand that, but I want to stress that I don't agree with it. I
Well,
have spoken to some scammers in honesty, and they've just been completely honest with me. And one of the guys, actually, he was very well qualified. He was pretty decent with computers. I asked him questions about networking and stuff like that. And so
yeah,
this ties in with
definitely.
why do they scam if they know a lot about computers? So, well, I've heard anyway that it's very hard to get, it can be very hard to get a job over in India, even if you are qualified. So this guy's like, well, I started off hating the job, but what am I going to do? I couldn't get a job as a real technician, so he just got used to doing that. But I can have sympathy for them if they're really trying to feed their family, and especially if they don't like their job and know that it's a bad thing. But most of them know what they're doing and couldn't give half a shit, so I don't have any sympathy for those people at all.
I think it's a kind of a dilemma because I think many people will do the same thing, become a scammer if you actually need to provide your family. This is actually a kind of interesting part. I'm not sure about this, but for I think 2 months ago we had about India in our English classes, and we talk about India. We actually got an India, a guy from India, and I asked him actually. We could ask him some questions, and I asked him about this. And if there was so many jobs in India, and he said yes, there was actually a lot of jobs, but it was also sometimes hard if you had a good education or stuff like that. Yeah.
I think there's also a class system over there. Again, this is just what I've heard, but I think if you're born into a certain type of family or something, then you almost automatically get the sort of job that you're looking for.
There's a school system there, so
Yeah, so that's another terrible thing about the way their system works over there.
yeah. I think it's depends on where you live actually, because this guy we talked about, he only lived in Delhi and Noida, so he
You
did not.
Noida's a terrible place for that. Sorry,
Yeah.
but yeah, Noida. We all know about Noida. That's
Have you
one of the
been there?
worst ones. Have I been to India? No. I've lived in Indonesia though, and I hear they're very, very similar places. So
Okay.
on that note, that's sort of why I can understand why they do what they do. They don't have the tech support scam places over in
Yeah.
Indonesia, but they have different things. Their English isn't good enough to be able to pull off the technical support. I mean, yeah, these Indians are usually pretty terrible with English, but in Indonesia they know like 5% of what the Indian people know with the English. So
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't really have
But
any.
I just want to say,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah, I just want to say one thing is that it's not like all Indians are stupid or anything like that. Like when
No.
I was doing my CCNP, the Cisco Certified Network Professional, my teacher, and he also taught Linux as well, he was an Indian and a great guy. So it's pretty
Yeah.
hard for me to say all Indians are shit, you know.
Yeah. I
He was a
think
great
that's
guy and
also
he knew a
ridiculous
lot.
to say that. I don't. But I talked to one on Skype. He said that all Indians are stupid. So it was actually kind of racist. I just blocked him
Oh,
after
that's
that. But
racist. Yeah.
yeah,
To be able to
I
just
think
say all Indians are something. Yeah.
yeah, that's just ridiculous. And
That's just
somebody
ignorant.
there's actually somebody sending me I think there's somebody commenting on my videos. I'm sorry, I feel ashamed of them, and they say they're from India. Um, and it's
I've
just
seen,
yeah,
comments like that.
and it's
I feel
just
like commenting, why would you feel ashamed? It's
yeah,
not
yeah,
you, it's just
it's not
certain
you.
people.
But I also kind of I'm kind of angry. Um, no, not angry, but it's just sad that other
Yeah.
Indians think they're scammers or feel better. Well,
No, these scamming people just give them a terrible name, so I
yeah.
feel bad for it as well. Like, I feel bad for those people.
Well, we got on. Have you anything else to put on it? I mean,
About if we should have sympathy or
yeah.
why they'd... I don't know. I recently called a place, I'm sure you've heard of them, called Jupiter Support. I think it was,
No, I
yeah,
haven't.
Jupiter
But
Support.
yeah, I saw you upload. I have not seen it yet, but I saw your video
Yeah,
when you
one of my
uploaded.
one of my subs actually from the video before that, one of my subs mentioned it, and I thought, okay, well I've got nothing else going on right now, so prank call. Why are you
Well,
saying this?
yeah. I
But they
mean,
connected anyway.
yeah. That's yeah. Some people know it already from the start, but yeah. Well,
But it does show something good though. It shows that these people are so leery. They're so, especially this Jupiter place, is so suspicious and cautious that even if you sound like a normal person who doesn't know what they're doing with the computers, the perfect victim, they still didn't want to connect and they still say it's a prank call. So imagine if like your mother, or not your mother, she's actually clever with computers, but someone else's mother or grandmother or something like that calls a place like Jupiter and says, I don't know what's going on. Imagine how they feel when the person on the other end of the phone call says, this is a prank, fuck off, or something like that. It's like, what?
What the
Okay,
hell?
I'm sure they're getting some great business, right?
Yeah, then they will lose a
So
lot
it's
of
working.
customers. So
So it's working. And
yeah.
whenever we get one of these pop-ups or numbers to call, and we know that they're a scam, when these places are flooded with calls, it's basically a DDoS. Not technically a DDoS, because it's not like, thousands of people pinging a server, but
Yeah, or
it
sending
is a lot of
packages.
people.
Yeah.
It is a lot. It's the same thing, but just with telephones. It's a lot of people. Even if you're not on a computer, you can call them up
Yeah.
and waste their time. It is a
Just-
denial of service instead of being service. It's a denial of scamming. So you could still call it DDoS, denial of distributed denial
yeah.
of scamming.
Do you think it's? I mean, this is not has. I know it's not in our topic, but do you think it's okay to DDoS scammers?
I don't know how I feel about that. I know some people think it's a bad idea.
Uh,
I don't know. I think now that I think about it on the spot, I don't think it's a bad idea. I mean, because you're just tying up their ability. This goes back to like ruining their tools. Their
yeah,
tools
that's
are their internet connection and the
yeah.
telephone. So, and it's not like you're stealing personal stuff from them, or
No, that's
you
right.
know, all you're doing is slowing their stuff down and preventing their ability.
Yeah,
So
that's actually
yeah,
right. Yeah. Well, I actually
so I
talked
have
to
no
one.
problem with that.
I talked to one and and I can't name any names because I don't want. But he did us
No,
the
I won't do that.
scammers, and still have him on Skype, and he gave me the number to call them up, and I said, how do you feel about being DDoS? And then they didn't even know what a DDoS attack was. Sorry, can you please
Yeah,
tell
some
me?
of them have done.
And I tell it was that
Oh, that would have been
that
so
their
much fun.
network
I would have
shut,
loved to explain it.
and
Sorry,
the
man.
their I
I would have
told.
loved to explain it.
Well, they did not know of anything. No, can you please tell me? And pretty much explained that you flooded the internet with packets and your internet will shut. Oh, so it was new? No, it was not. Fuck you, and they hung up.
I would have loved to have made that call.
Yeah,
Like even if you don't know what it is, you could still just bring it
yeah,
up on a Wikipedia page and read it out to them.
yeah,
Or even just tell them, go and Google what DDoS stands for, and that's what's going on to you now, you stupid bitch. I don't know, something like that. That would have been fun.
yeah. Well, we
I
got
don't know how
another.
the guy did it,
Yeah,
but yeah.
we got
Sorry, you
another
go.
topic. This is actually talked about lots about. We see all these kind of. The first two videos I remember was not about scammer versus scammer reacts to. It was more likely. I mean, there was some few to start with. Scammer versus 95. It was Louis Tech who made that, but I mean, he still does it sometimes. There's kind of different opinions about. I still don't want to know, but there's some people that don't think we should do scammer reacts to scammer versus stuff like that because it has no kind of education for scammers
Yeah.
and companies. But what I really think is, if you search on YouTube for fake tech support scammers, there's so much videos about how this explains.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah. But the other side is it also exposes a company for being a scam. So what do you think about
That's
it?
true. Well, from a YouTube point of view, I say that if you are a YouTuber and you like doing that, then go ahead. I mean, it's fine. That's entertainment. So if people don't like it, there are plenty of other channels out there that will provide more helpful or useful or
Yeah.
educational material out there. So they're fine to make YouTube videos on whatever they want.
Yeah.
I don't do it myself. Or I might occasionally, if I can think of something good,
Yeah.
like Linux Mint or something like that. But I wouldn't make my channel entirely about that. It wouldn't be just video after video, scammer reacts to this, scammer reacts to Ubuntu, or whatever it is.
Well, I think it's kind of interesting because somebody says that that's not about a part of scam baiting, and we should not ever kind of do that because it's just not education. We should just focus on take down scammers, and we should just focus on don't harass them, just take them down. sorry, not harass them, but make something that is educated. Something you can learn about scammers.
Yeah, it's sort of what I try to do in mine. I generally open up my calls acting like a normal, caller. And over the course of the call, I will take down notes. Often I'll just write shit up in a notepad document that's outside my virtual machine, just things to revisit later. Because I don't always. It's so hard to keep track of all the stupid things that they do. Like if they're running tree, I'll just type the word tree in my notepad or whatever else. Or if they say something particularly stupid, like your IP address is changing every nanosecond. I still remember that call.
Nanosecond.
I had to mute myself.
What?
That's what he said. And I told the guy somewhere through it that, look, if that were actually true, there would be no internet connectivity available to me. It just would not be possible. Because he was looking at that tree command thing that I have, that batch file where it changes color and flashes. And his reaction is like, oh, so sir, this is a very rare type of IP address. It changes every nanosecond. And then when I'm confronting him about that, he's like, have you heard of a dynamic IP address? I said, yeah, I know, they change and, you can renew them and they're issued by DHCP and they're dynamic, but they don't change every nanosecond. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I take down notes a lot of the times in Notepad because of the just sheer quantity of stupidity that they come out with. It's hard to remember it all.
Yeah.
I think I forgot your original question, sorry. Sorry, yeah, now I remember.
Is it okay
yeah,
to scammers react to?
Yeah.
Is that kind of its occasional?
I mean, it's okay if that's what
fine.
they want to
I think
do.
it's fine. I think it's different what people should do, what they enjoy doing.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Do what they want to do. Like, I watch a lot of them where it's just setting up silly situations, like someone pretending to be a father talking to his kid who's just a friend in the background. So, I mean, there's not a lot of education in that, but it is a lot of entertainment. So if that's what they like doing, that's fine. It gets a lot of views. I'm not really out for a lot of views and subscribers. Like, I mean, I'd like them, but I'm not whoring myself to the YouTube community, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing things as clickbait or whatever like that. I don't want to do that.
Well, I can admit I use clickbait. But I also want to say, as long as it's not misleading, then that's fine with me. Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that as well.
What do you think
I'm pretty relaxed with this.
I mean, I will straight admit, yes, I use this clickbait. I mean, if you see all my titles, yeah, it is clickbait. But I think
I know.
it's
I'm fine with that.
Unless it's not misleading, I put something that is not relevant to the video. Well, I know just my last hill, he was angry, and I think it was hilarious. I put that in the title.
Yeah. So there's nothing dishonest about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That would be the counter argument to is it clickbait or not. I mean, if something really ridiculous did happen, and you're just saying that that's what it was, it's not really clickbait. Someone might click on it quickly because of how it's written or described, but they're getting what they thought they were getting. So
yeah,
I don't consider that clickbait really.
What I think is ridiculous is you probably know GTA. I don't want to get in details, but there's a GTA community explaining that's calling up Rockstar, which is the company who made, to ask the release date, and they put like a shocking picture of a face in the thumbnail, for example, and they say, so for example, I just got GTA, but they did not. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
I mean, if they just make stuff up, that's different. If they found a ridiculous picture somewhere else, completely unrelated to the topic they're talking about, doesn't appear in any game or anything like that, then yeah, that is clickbait.
Yes. Next topic is, which things do you think is malicious things they do? Sorry about that.
That's okay. Well, the malicious things a scammer can do, I spent a little bit of time thinking about this. The obvious thing is deleting files, and a couple of my videos show them doing that. I mean, you could see that on just about any scam baiters videos and YouTube. It's pretty common when they get upset, or even if they're not upset. You haven't even upset them off. Yeah, syskey's another one. It's always great to have the fake syskey file there. That happened recently. It's a very short video, but I'm not going to
Probably,
promote it here.
but sometimes delete system 13 too. I mean, it's pretty common.
Yeah, it should be hard to do that, but on a machine like mine where I've unlocked all the permissions, yeah, it would be very easy to do, but they delete files. This is more insidious. Like they will gather personal data about a person.
Yeah.
I've seen people open up Word documents of mine that he had no right to do. So yeah, I mean that could have been anything, but he just went and opened it, didn't give a shit. They could install malware while they're there.
Yeah.
I've read a lot of reports from people who have been scammed. Like you go to forums and so on. Even if you're just researching a company you've just called up and you're thinking, I wonder what they've done. So yeah, there are a lot of terrible things they do. And they can call people back again and again, just harassing them.
Well,
so that's why never, ever give your personal information out to these people when you're scam baiting them or otherwise, because they will use it.
I mean, actually, do you heard about Dixon? He's one of the first scam baiters who started the scam bait community. No many.
Yeah, Haig's brilliant. I saw him soon after I saw the first Lewis one, I think. I think it was, yeah, because Lewis and Haig did a couple of videos together, and I think Haig's great.
Well, it said he does not do any kind of videos, Mark. God damn it. I tweeted about it sometimes. Damn, I really miss the old scam bait community, Dixon. Holy shit. He was one of the first.
He was helpful.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, but he actually, he put on his real information, and he said that he did not get any harassed or anything like that, but he actually released his real personal information to the scam.
Yeah.
And one
then again, back then times were a bit different, right? Remember, like the scam baiting thing hadn't taken off as much as it is nowadays. There's so many more people doing it, which makes it a bit harder for us because the scammers themselves are really on edge about this scam baiting shit. But maybe back when, I don't know myself, but maybe back when Haig was doing it, it was a bit less common.
Yeah,
so maybe they were.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
What I also think is sad about this new community. I don't want to. I just want to stay neutral, kind of. But what I really think, have you heard about Windows World and Scammer Sub Lounge? Yeah. Hey, I know you know Scammer Sub Lounge, but do you have heard about Windows World?
I don't think I have. I think I've seen the like Discord thing pop up. I think I've seen the section somewhere or reference to it. Maybe I've heard of it, but I don't think I've been to it.
Well, there's kind of between a fight against them, and I just think it's sad. There was some raids in the different Discord, and I think it's sad that this kind of scam bait community has changed. I have actually really considered leaving both of the communities.
I've seen that actually. Yeah.
Matt Delphi, I'm not even sure. Do you remember?
I've heard the name.
Yeah,
I've heard the name.
And Scammer or Battle Pro or something.
I do remember one time when I was not even doing scam baiting yet, but watching videos, just constantly watching all different ones. I remember seeing one.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Go on.
Oh, it's okay. There was one guy who was like, he made a video about another YouTube scam baiter, and he was talking shit about him, or it was a reaction to one talking shit about him. And I was pretty sad by that, thinking, aren't we all doing the same thing? Why are these people fighting each other?
Well,
jealousy? I don't get it.
Well, there was some guy who was accused to be a pedophile. Well, yeah, pretty much. And he's still. I remember his channel. He's called Windows Logic Production. He gets harassed by each other. I don't really.
Oh, is that what that WLP thing is? Okay, because I heard all about. We don't mention WLP, and at the time I had no idea what it was. I still didn't until just now. Yeah, I thought, what is this WLP? Yeah,
it's just sad to see. But Medeli, he's actually a pretty big YouTuber. He has 5,500 something. And it's pretty. He actually left Scammer Sub Lounge. He typed it in a private chat with the Stop Phone Scammers partners that he left it. And I think it's just sad.
That's a shame that people feel like that. Yeah.
I mean, and I'm actually consider just leaving some of the communities.
Personally, and I'm sorry if I'm breaking into you there, but personally, I feel it would be nice if we could create a group which, and I don't know how to say this, but without all the people who just come on and start off fresh a little bit. Like I'm pretty new to the whole scene. I've only been doing this for about 3 months now. Yeah. But I don't like some of the stuff that I see in Scammer Sub Lounge. Like just useless chat. It's just stupid. I mean, one example, not a specific example, but you know when you go to the scammer numbers section and you're just looking for
Yeah.
URLs for pop-ups and numbers, the amount of times the moderators have to come in and say stop chatting, or I mean, the rules are pretty clear,
Yeah.
and there are a lot of people that just post up comments that are just completely stupid. It's pointless. A lot of people think it's a big joke, but it's not really a. You can have fun with scam baiting, but I don't know. It's just people should be a bit more helpful toward the community, and there's maybe a little bit too much obnoxiousness, or it's just something.
Well,
It's become too big, sort of.
I think after all this VLP Windows World actually came up, I just think it's sad to see all this kind of drama. Well, I'm annoyed at some people. I think is wasted, for example, but I don't want to start any kind of drama, right? I don't make a video on it and then start a huge fight.
Yeah.
I think it's
I
just
wouldn't do
kind
that.
of no. I think it's just kind of ridiculous. If you ask me.
If someone, even if someone made an entire video about me and my channel and stuff, I would just ignore it. Just go on.
Yeah.
Recently had some fool writer comment on one of my recent videos, and I'm like, okay, so he's trying to upset me. Who is he? Life goes on.
Yeah.
Everyone else is writing positive comments, so just if you pay attention to these people, then you're giving power to them. So I'll just say ignore it.
Yeah.
Don't care,
Nick, Yeah. Well, Nick, do you watch normal YouTube stuff on YouTube? Do you watch PewDiePie scares? Yeah.
Oh no. I've
okay.
never watched anything from PewDiePie, but I watch regular YouTube.
No, yeah. Which kind of YouTubers do you watch?
Well, I did watch. Have you heard of Tech Syndicate? I used to watch them for a while, but I mean, they still got a lot of videos, and they had a split actually. They had their own drama.
You don't know anything like RiceGum, Drama Alert, Scares, FushiTube, Room and Edward, stuff like that. Do you know these guys?
I've heard the names, but I don't watch them.
Well, it's kind of sad because YouTube actually has turned it in a drama ground, and it's just sad if you ask me.
Well, yeah, I mean, when it becomes a bit like Facebook or something like that, it's almost human nature. Like, the internet just allows people to express themselves anonymously, and so people just say all sorts of bullshit that they wouldn't say to other people face to face.
Well, I look back. I've been on YouTube for like 4 years now. When I make videos, I still watch English at that time. There was not that kind of drama that is today. YouTubers is suing each other. I mean, it's just sad to see, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, definitely a big problem. But maybe what happens is, for example, let's say I didn't like something you did, and I made a video about OscarBlue, and I'm just shit talking you down. That's obviously a bad thing to do, right? But the worst thing is if you start firing back at me, yeah? So you're fanning the flames of the fire, and then you start shit-talking me, and then I've, of course, got to defend myself and shit-talk you and back and forth, and then other people start seeing that, and then they'll shit-talk one of us or both of us, and so it just gets worse and worse.
What I think is ridiculous is why the fuck do we need to take? Sorry about my question there, but why do we
No, it's all right.
Why do we need to take it in public? Can you deal with it self-personal? You really have to do a video about it.
Yeah,
I mean,
that would be better. Yeah. Don't
I mean,
leave your dirty laundry out to the public. It's stupid.
If it's something personal between you and someone else, I really don't give my opinion just because I'm staying neutral, but I really want to say this. I think it's ridiculous. You can't fucking deal with yourself. You need to make fucking videos exposing each other around.
Yeah, focus on the scammers themselves or whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah.
If you don't have a way of directly communicating to the other person via mail or any form of messaging, if that's somehow the case, then okay, make a video. But the only thing you say in a video is to such and such person, here's a way of getting in touch with me. Please get in touch because we have to talk about the issue. You know what the issue is. And just leave it like that,
Yeah.
Just say PM me at my YouTube, and we'll take it from there. That's what I would do if I had to.
Yeah, what I think is fine is to call somebody out who deserves it. But if it's something personal between you and another person, for example, there was this. I talked about how people call Rockstar support to ask them, and they made a lot of videos about it. Well, and they're just using clickbait. I think it's okay to to it's should be fine to call it out, and because it's to all people. It's to all people because also other people are watching it.
Yeah, everyone sees that. It's like I remember a few years ago
Yeah.
when I was still on Facebook, like I knew this couple and they were not a good couple. Obviously, I'm not going to mention names, but I think the guy was cheating on his girlfriend and I knew both of them. And so the girlfriend one day got onto his YouTube account and posted something, not his YouTube, sorry, I mean his Facebook account. And I remember seeing that and thinking that's just very sad. A lot of people, hundreds of people are seeing this and you're having a little domestic dispute between yourselves. It's just, that's sad.
Well,
Keep it in the home, you know.
Yeah. It's... I think it's fine if people are getting called out for something stupid shit they're making. But if it's something personal about you and another person, for example, you broke up, you don't need to fucking make a video about explaining the whole thing. I don't think.
Yeah,
it's
not everyone
people's
needs to know.
business. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
right, yeah.
Well,
And you're also inviting comments. You're inviting people to jump on your comment section and
hop
take
on
sides
your
or
train to harass
yeah.
the other person, and then the other fan base will harass each other. It's
Yeah.
sad to see. Well, the next thing we need to talk about is better personal data. So, kind of, which I think is scammers kind of information is pretty much what you fill out in the information box when you need to take the payment. Or what do you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's, yeah, I mean, people talk about how much money these people try to get out of people, but that's not the worst of it, in my opinion, because they could also save credit card details.
Yeah, that's right.
So imagine what they could do.
I saw a
Yeah.
documentary on it, and it's actually pretty easy to buy credit card details in India. So,
Yeah, I remember when I was doing my studies and we were getting into security and ethical hacking and stuff like that, we actually were told basically how much a credit card would sell for on the streets or, you know, on the internet if you that sort of thing, dark web stuff or whatever.
Mm.
That was interesting to see how much, you know, a credit card goes for this amount, social security goes for that amount, address goes for this amount. So, yeah. There's also that. They can make money just even if they find out your home address and you don't even give them the credit card details, they can make money off that.
Well, it's pretty much common clear. People today just on the internet, I really do a lot of things to protect me against this, but pretty much your personal data on the internet is kind of really worth information to advertisements and stuff like that.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's partly, I think that's one part of how Google makes some of its money.
Yeah.
And other places as well, of course. I've got nothing against Google. They do a great job at what they do. But personal information and metadata, all that stuff is valuable on the internet for advertisers and so on. So
I'm really against this because the Danish government wants a total it's not common law. It's a guy called Søren Pind, but he wants the massive overwhelming. Or sorry, what is it called? You know, where he wants to spy on all Danish people.
Yeah. That's happened in the UK as well, I think, if I'm not mistaken anyway.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't be surprised if it's happening here.
Well, yeah, I really don't like that. I really hate that person, and I think sometimes something is not your business, also in personal data, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they try to make it look like a good thing, as a convenience thing, like, oh, you know, if you're looking for a car and you're looking for this type of car. Yeah. Because I remember the last time I was buying, when I was buying the car that I have now, I was searching around, obviously looking for deals and good dealerships and so on, and then I bought the car, and then I was looking just around on the internet doing completely unrelated stuff, and I'm seeing ads for the car that I just bought, and I'm thinking, what in the hell is this? Yeah. I didn't need to know that. And they're showing dealerships near where I live. It's like, leave me the F alone, you know?
You know, well, when for example, I use Ghostory, it blocks all these kind of trackers on websites. And I also got all
these are things more people should know about this stuff.
I got a VPN almost all the time, pretty much, so, yeah.
Me too, I do that all the time now, because I can even log into my bank with a VPN.
I got two things. Two phones. The one I need, you know, probably Facebook can get all your personal information, your phone number, other contacts, which is your browser history. I actually got two phones. One where I install all my apps where I use that, and don't do all my private shit, and then I have my other where I do that.
I would say with the private shit, probably keep that as like your maybe. I'm just thinking on the spot, but your cheaper phone or an older phone or something, or maybe not
Yeah,
an older
yeah,
phone.
I
It might
got it.
keep
I
some of
got
the
it on.
information.
I got that all on my phone. So yeah.
So
Wasn't it?
for all your fun stuff, you can do that, but for your very
No,
personal stuff, maybe
no.
keep it as a.
It's just that I'm kind of tired. You know, I'm not sure if you are using Windows 10, right? You know that Windows 10
Yeah, I
offered
didn't want to,
you
but yeah.
Windows 10 offered you a free installation. They also sell your fucking personal information, right?
Oh yeah, not only that, in the anniversary update, they've changed a lot of people's settings back to. I mean, even if you were careful and followed some certain YouTubers' guidelines of how to disable all this shit, well, Microsoft have fucked it all up, and they've even installed apps like Candy Crush and all this other shit
Yeah,
that no one asked for. And not only that, but a lot of people with Windows 7 were happy with Windows 7, and
and
overnight while they were asleep or something, it's upgraded to Windows 10. Never
yeah,
asked for it. Here you are for free. Some spyware.
yeah.
Get out of here. I don't want that.
Do you
I
got
don't even
Windows
know how
10?
to.
Do you got Windows 10?
I do. But that was
Do,
sort of for study because I
yeah.
was having to run Hyper-V for virtualization in
Do
university.
you got all the privacy settings off?
I do, but I'm have to check on it pretty regularly now because I don't know what the fuck Microsoft is up to. Sorry for my swearing, but yeah, I just don't trust Microsoft right now with all this data collection. It's
Well, you can
ridiculous.
actually install a program that blocks it. It's called Windows 10 Anti-Spy Beacon. I can send you a link after that, but yeah.
Oh
Well,
yes,
the
I'll look
next
into
thing
that.
is installing malware. I don't. I have personally not ever seen a scammer who has installed malware, something like that. Uh,
Well, you probably wouldn't see it. If they were going to do that,
Well,
they probably wouldn't do it in plain sight.
well, I actually happened one time of kind where a scammer actually installed malware on my computer. Well, they do it sometimes with their fake antivirus stuff and
I
stuff
was
like
about to
that.
say, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about this super anti-spyware thing, but I know it's
It
a piece of crap. It lies to you. I had
no
this guy
so,
from my phone support, and
well
he
yeah.
installed it, and it's 298 viruses or something, whatever it was. It was just full of
Well,
shit.
super anti-spy software is actually legit, but the thing that you can see, it says it gives you some warnings with some cookies and errors, right? And then they
Yeah.
use that excuse for it is some kind of virus or stuff like that. It is actually a legit program. It's just
Okay, but
because
they
it showed
misuse it.
different. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Actually, I remember seeing that. Yeah, cookies. There were a lot of that, a lot of
Yeah.
those, and traces of things.
Mm.
But they'll point to that and say it's hackers, or they'll make something up.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Oh, okay, yeah. Put the machine into a state where you will call them back.
Yeah, what I meant by that was they, well, basically they'll do something to your computer. If you don't
Mm.
buy their so-called services on the spot, then they can always do something which makes you want to call them back. Like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe I doubted them. Maybe I said that they were a scam. Maybe they're not a scam because look now, I've got all these more pop-ups. I never saw this many pop-ups before, or whatever else. So they could do that. They could delete certain files which cause trouble, like you were saying with the System32. Maybe they could make a few changes to settings. Or let's not forget the sys key. I mean,
Yeah.
someone sys keys your computer, you're probably going to think, damn, what do I do now?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't really have anything to say to that. Harassing people by calling them back many times every day. Well, I don't think
Yeah.
scammers will harass you that much again because they need to make
No.
some money, right? And they
True,
don't have time
true.
to call you back. I don't. I
I mean,
don't think
we're
you
already
have.
wasting their time, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Well, they don't have my phone number. They have a SIP phone number,
Yeah. You wish
which I
you.
have occasionally.
Yeah.
Yeah, occasionally I'll get a phone call during a scam bait, but that's the only time that I have the SIP open is when I'm
Yeah.
about to call or I am calling.
Yes.
So sometimes that happens. But you're right. It's just I remember seeing that on forums where some people, even as recent as this year, were getting harassed 3 or 4 or even 5 or more times per day by some scammer claiming to be from Microsoft.
Yeah. You get
I don't
harassed,
know why.
not by different scammers actually. I got some family living in UK. And they get like maybe 50 calls a day. They needed to get a call blocker
Yeah.
from somebody or kind of different scammers. Somebody says they will shut down your electricity, stuff like that. So
Right.
you are getting
This
a
might be related.
yeah.
Yeah, it might be related to like where they gather your information. You know how there are some places that basically just conduct surveys, and they
Yeah.
seem harmless enough, but it's like you get usually let's let's be honest, usually an Indian voice. Again, nothing against Indian people, but it just happens to be that they have these surveys and they call you up and ask who is your electricity provider and gas provider, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, do you
It's
own a
kind of
couch?
social
Just
engineering
stupid
this.
random shit like
Yeah.
that. So they're just trying to find out how rich you are, or, you
Mm.
know, like what your living conditions, what sort of budget might the person have, and they pass that information on. So yeah, it could be someone that's passed that information on to the other people that you're talking about over in the UK, and they're harassing them because it's like, well, this person's probably got a lot of money. Let's keep calling. Eventually, they'll give up.
Yeah.
So that's the harassment.
Well, they don't get that harassed again because they got a call blocker to block all
It's
these
good,
kind
but
of unexpected calls. But yeah,
yeah, it's good, but it's sad that they had to go to the trouble to do that.
yeah, to do that actually, to take that next step. Okay,
Like no one should have to do that.
The next topic is, for example, funny things that do hurt and nuclear missiles.
We can lighten things up here.
Yeah. Everything this
So-
time, fiction, run out, breaking, talking, infected IP address, hacker stuff
I
like
love
that.
yeah,
Well,
that herder thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen
I saw it
it happened.
Sorry,
It happened to me, but it seems like it does not happen anymore.
It happened to me last week, or maybe a week and a half ago. But
yeah, it's a
I
long
never
time
saw it
for
until
me.
then.
Yeah, it's long time for me. It's like 3 months since I met a scammer who opened up Herder, and I kind of missed it.
I got a good chuckle out of that because I was surprised when I saw it. I thought at the time in my mind I'm thinking, what? I thought they'd stopped this shit a long time ago, but it was actually an Australian scam number that I called. Obviously they're not in Australia, but I could only call them from Skype because Whistle wouldn't work with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, those people were scammers from the Stone Age of half a year ago or something.
Well, I don't understand how the fuck this gamer said this. The Russian was sending fucking nuclear missiles from my computer.
I could watch that video. I could watch
Sorry.
that video like so many times, and it's still funny every single time.
It's ridiculous.
Just your reaction to that is priceless.
Why
like
did he
you
even
started
try-
that up.
Why did he even try that scammer? Fucking, I mean,
Maybe he was having a bad day, man. Maybe he was trying to have some fun.
yeah, it could be, and maybe he actually knew it. Well, I actually met an American scammer only one time, and I think he said it for fun, but he said that recycle bin was a virus.
Ah, yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah.
I have no idea how I'd react to that, because there's so many ways you could go about it. You can call them a complete and utter imbecile for claiming that Recycle Bin is a virus, or you can go along with them and maybe have fun and say, is it really? How do we get rid of it? Something like that. Maybe, I don't know what I would do at the time. I'd probably act innocent and say, okay, can we get rid of the Recycle Bin virus? I don't know.
Many Indians use each and everything do one thing, desktop. They sound like desktop, right, as you spell it. But why do you think that? Why do you think that? You actually, you said it to me one time that you had one of your old teachers or something said do one thing a lot of time.
He had his own sort of idiosyncrasies. He had his own weird things. But each and everything, my theory on that is I think their language might work a bit like that. Like when they're speaking to each other in their own language, it might be part of their language. Because I remember, back to in Indonesia, when they speak their broken English to me, and then when I started learning Indonesian, I realized, that's why they're talking to me in that kind of English, because that's literally what they say in their language. It works in their language, but not so good in our language.
This is actually kind of interesting thing, because I read one of the comments on Medelip's video, and he said that when they say each and everything, it's because they mean each and every virus. I don't know if that's right.
Nah. When I first heard that, I thought they're just saying it to sound complete or official or impressive, something like that. Each and everything. It's like, I don't know. And desktop, I mean, we all know they just can't pronounce it. I think they see K and then S, and their minds scramble them backwards. I think that's what happens there.
I just think it's the accent. I don't think it is something else. I just think it is the accent. To be real,
yeah. But I love saying
I
it
mean,
because
I mean,
they never hear it. They never
I
think
say
it's strange
videos.
when we say
I mean,
desktop.
I said videos. I can't even
Yeah,
say it right. I mean, videos. So I got a Danish section. So I think
yeah,
that's
you
not.
have an advantage. You could get away with that. You can say videos and virus and you're okay.
Yeah, but still, I sometimes some words is hard to pronounce, and I just think it's different to language to language.
It
Um,
is. Because if you speak Danish normally,
yeah.
then your mouth just works differently, right? You
Mm.
just, it's a, is it a, oh, what's the damn word? Now my mind's frozen. Like, is it a Germanic language?
Well, what?
Is it like a Germanic language? You know, like German or Dutch. These are
No,
Germanic
no,
languages,
no, no,
whereas,
no. It's like
okay,
Scandinavian language. Mostly
of
Scandinavian
course.
language is we can actually talk to each other. We can pretty understand each other. Mostly
Yeah,
Scandinavia.
but yeah,
Uh,
basically a lot of your words in your language in Danish, they sound very different to English, and that's just why the pronunciation's different.
yeah,
So
that's
that's the only reason.
well. Do you have whoa, Nick? Do you
More
study?
words. I love fixation. I love how they use fixation. I know what they mean. We all know what they mean when they
Mm.
say that. They mean like the fixing or the that's another one they do. But
Lifetime
when they say
security.
fixation, yeah. But that the funniest part about that is fixation actually means something. To be
Mm.
fixated on something means to be tunnel visioned on that thing. You know, like if you're fixated on one thing, it means you pay no attention to anything else,
Yeah.
only that one thing. So they are sort of fixated when they say that. But it's just not what they think they mean.
Well, I think
And
the
these
next.
people run out of breath when they're talking as well. So
Yeah, that's
when you
why they are
argue with
so
someone long
breathing
enough,
so
I
hard.
love it.
Have you never seen that in many games? They breathe is
Oh,
so
I
hard.
love it. It
It
sounds
seems
like
like
they're
they are eating
standing in the
some
middle of a.
carrots or
Well,
something.
it sounds like they're in the middle of a storm or something. I've actually asked one, "Are you outside at the moment?" Because it sounds like it's very windy there.
Yeah, actually, I think I saw that video. Was it not called the scammer is next to the building to me? I'm not sure. Is that way?
I don't think so. I don't remember which one it was actually, but I have said it before.
I'm
I don't
pretty
think
sure
it's in
also
that
heard
one,
it.
but I have said
Yeah.
it. But when I said run out of breath talking, I actually mean because they cannot shut the fuck up sometimes. Like they cannot speak slowly and they talk in quantity, not quality. They say so many words, but it makes no sense.
Yeah, I
They
think.
think that if they continue talking really quickly, then you won't be able to keep track of what the fuck they're saying.
Have
And
you?
they run
Yeah.
out of breath. It's funny. Yeah.
Have you heard Hindi normal as normal people talk Hindi?
Yeah, they talk pretty quick.
Yeah, that's right. So I
They
think
talk,
it's that's why
yeah.
it could be. I mean, yeah. Well, do you have anything else to say? Because I also
Oh,
got the
well,
next topic
yeah.
here. I just can open
I
it up.
love when I see porn virus on a pop-up. I mean, that's hilarious. And
Mm.
hackers are always fun to talk
Yeah.
about. Infected IP addresses don't
If
exist,
you
but yeah.
really want to get a scammer made, say that you watch cow porn.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know why. It's their sacred animal, and
Yeah.
I'm on the fence about doing that. It's like it's a
Yeah.
complete insult to their religion, but I don't know. I know it would definitely set them off, just like talking about their mothers, apparently.
Mm.
It's funny how when they try to insult us, they say, "Oh, I'm going to fuck your mother" or something. It's like,
Yeah.
all right.
Well, that's fine.
I had one
I'm,
say, I didn't like your mother's pussy." I'm like, "Oh, all right." Yeah, I know. I can
say
understand
something.
that. The woman's in
I'm
her
your next
70s.
father eller sådan noget. I made a scam like that. Sorry about that. I just talked Danish. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's just funny that the insults that they use. I mean, I'm pretty difficult to insult normally, but when I hear their insults, it's like, what are we, 5 years old? Seriously? You think
Yeah.
that's going to upset me? That's weird.
Yeah. Well, the next topic is really interesting because I did it by myself. And what do you think about releasing scammers' personal information?
This is another one that's really,
Yeah.
you could look at it from different angles.
Yeah. Because I released the scammers' information. Mukesh Kahan, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, on the one hand, you could say it's unethical or that you're violating some basic human rights there and doxing a person. I don't know. I don't think I would do it, but again, I'll go back to what I was saying before, and I'm pretty neutral. Or I'll say it another way, like it's up to the individual. Like if you want to do that, it's not for me to tell you not to do that. That's okay.
Well, I think it's
But
it's
yeah,
the reason what I hope about. the scammer, well, he straight admitted he did not feel his fault about scamming people. He said like, when the scammer is when the person is getting scammed, it is his fault. I'm not sure if you heard about it. Mukesh Kahan, he said that, and when I heard that, I really got pissed. That's why I
Yeah,
actually
I can
released this
understand that.
info. And when I hoped that I released this info, I really hope that his Facebook account would get mass reported or get email spammed, and people will start harassing him to see actually how it feels to gain like
Yeah,
some of the pain
yep,
he
I can
feels.
understand that. And you say to that same guy that it's his fault because you've been scamming people. When you scam people, what happens to you is your fault. Remember how you said it's their fault? Well, now it's your fault. How do you like that? Just turn it back around on him.
So that's actually why I released the scammer's information. Um, Maybe not. I will do it with some scammer who was really poor, but it seems like this guy was kind of rich because this guy who was the top of the head, I think, because when I
Oh,
did
those
some
guys are
research,
rich. Those guys
yeah,
actually are
he
rich.
he
Yeah.
he, he was the programmer. He was the guy who make all the fake virus alerts. I found
Well,
out
he should
by
probably learn to type properly because a lot of those pop-ups just look like they're made by a 12-year-old or something.
yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
My grammar is humble. I straight admit that, but also because I'm dyslexic. But yeah,
But if you were trying to make a pop-up, you would probably
yeah.
look at some
To
legitimate
look at
English and
legit,
you would
yeah,
proofread it. You would
yeah. That's
proofread
right.
the thing like 20 times, especially if you're not sure of your English.
That's right.
You would do that. Yeah.
Well, do you have anything more to talk about? Because I don't really have anything else.
No, I can't think of anything. Like, I don't have anything more in my document over here that, I don't
Well,
know.
I've never
I didn't
spoken.
prepare for this, like I said.
No, I just keep keeping this in the mind, but yeah, I think it's pretty much it. Um, oh, one last thing actually. What do you think about so many guys are calling up scammers? I've seen so many people are calling them now, and I have somebody asking me on Skype why I'm not growing my channel. Why can you explain me why stuff like that? And
It's
I
getting a
mean,
bit tricky.
what is your opinion on that? What I think is because so many people are making the. I also want to talk about. Do you think the scam baiting concept is kind of dying out because so many is doing it? They're doing the same
Yeah, maybe.
videos. They're using the same software. There's not created a kind of new. Well, I will say Malcolm Merlin. Holy shit, he's good to make some fresh content. But if you watch it, some kind of others, Louis has moved on. He does not in his I think 3 or 4 last videos. He's not used any kind of viruses or something. Do you
Nah,
think
the
the
last thing he
concept?
uploaded was basically about the Discord
Yeah,
community, and at first I
yeah.
thought, yeah, that's good, but at the same time I'm
Do
thinking,
you,
yeah,
do
I
you
don't
think
know, now
the
everyone
scam?
sees that.
Yeah. Do you think the scam kid community is kind of dying because you see all these kind of doing the same thing? They're using the
Yeah,
same.
a bit.
And I think it's
Yeah.
because I lost my channel is kind of dying right now, but also see some difference go, and I think I know why. But do you think it's kind of dying, this kind of tech support scam gaming, or it's just started? What do you think about that?
Maybe because in the last, I don't know how long, month maybe in the last month, it's really exploded with so many people doing it.
Yeah, but
So yeah,
I think there's more
but I mean,
people.
there's a good side to that. Like
Yeah,
when you call
I
up
think
these
that's great.
companies,
I
yeah,
think that's great. But somebody is asking me why I'm not growing, what can I do right, and stuff like that. Before I even start my YouTube channel, I did a lot of research on how to grow a channel. And I mean, sometimes I don't even fucking listen to some of the tips. Sometimes my graphics is, for example, horrible. And that can really help you a lot. But
it can, yeah.
yeah,
I put some effort, but I don't spend too much time on my thumbnails. I just basically, usually I'll take the screenshot of the best frame in it that shows the most stupid things going on, and yeah. Or the most recent one, I mean, it's called Jupiter, so I got a copyright-free NASA image of the planet Jupiter and put some text over that. Yeah.
well, I think it's so sad because many people wants to grow, like Loose Tech or Dessa got mad because people ask me this, and why I'm not growing. Well, you need to do something for more or less in that. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I
you
think
mean
it's
for their
like,
channels
yeah,
if they're just starting off, right?
yeah, and I think it's not a good place to start. I'm also going to change my
Yeah.
content soon. Um,
I would say
maybe I will
don't
lose
follow.
videos. Maybe I will lose some views, but in the
That's
longer
okay.
term, I will maybe continue to a new community or still tech related, right? Um,
Yeah.
or scam related, scam bait. But I will also call up different scammers. I don't see people call up so many iOS scammers and stuff like that. I will move on more to that also in the future.
All
I
right.
just got a hard time making it, but I think sometimes the scammers about fake tech support scammers is kind of dying. If you watch Louis Tech, right? Let's say he does a lot of fake tech support, but he has also started to, I'm not sure if he's even thought about it, but he is also studying doing like IRS, CRA scammers. Um, but do you think one time fake tech support scammers about the scam about fake tech support scam will die out?
Maybe. I mean, maybe that we'll go through a stage where there's just too many people trying to do it and getting nowhere because there are too many people trying to do it, if you know what I mean? Like it's too crowded. And maybe they'll sort of just give up and think it's not working. And, maybe in a few months it'll start up again. Don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, but that's also quite. But do you think scammers will stop doing that scam, or they will
Oh, that's what you
outsource to
mean.
a different scam? Yeah, also that.
Well, if they do, good, because it's a scam that just takes too many people that are either maybe old or they don't know much about computers, and it's too easy for them to get away with that.
Yeah.
So if that dies down, I don't have a problem with that at all. I don't. Doesn't matter if it means I release no more YouTube videos. Doesn't matter to me. I mean, I do it for fun.
Yeah.
I started off just doing this to see that how it works, like what it feels like to do it myself. And then my very first scam baiting video isn't even like on YouTube. It is, but it's privately listed, and I just put it there so that I could link it to a friend and he could look at it. But then I liked it, so I decided to just keep going with it, and it became sort of what it is at the moment, which is still small, but I just do it for fun, not for views or subscribers really. Like I said, I'm happy to
Well,
get them, but I don't do it for that.
well, I think I've been on YouTube, and the reason I want to grow my channel so much is because, damn, I really hate my job. I really hate my job. I really want to quit it actually, and I mean, in like 6 months or 7 months, I'm actually quitting my job because I'm going on something called after school, where it's pretty much where you have to stay on the school, and you only visit maybe
Oh yeah.
yeah. Um, but I just want to quit it, and really that's the only thing I want to do now is doing YouTube full time, and I just focus so much on it, and hopefully that I don't really well. I have set a goal for myself because I know around where I need if I'm going to do this on a full time living. I know if doing a goal, but that's going to be maybe years or something. But I set a goal on how many subscribers I need, how many kind of views I need, and I need
Ah yeah.
kind of to reach that goal so I can maybe more enjoying what I'm doing. That's
Yeah.
just the only really thing, and I don't really consider I love subscribers. I really want some. I will not say I'm not desperate after it, but yeah. Well, what do you think?
Well, me personally, I've never considered YouTube as a full-time thing. Like, I've never even thought about doing it
Yeah,
full-time, so it's not even on my mind. I don't even know how many subscribers or viewers you would need, because you've looked into that, you know what the goals are. But I always thought you had to have something like 1 million subscribers to make really good money off it, or at least 500,000, or maybe 250,000 or something. I don't
you
even know.
need
I don't know
around
what the figures are.
100,000 subscribers. About. I mean, Lewstech, he could actually do scam baiting on full time if he wanted to, and I'm pretty sure he actually does it. I mean, he just go to university or something, but he does it on full time. I mean, that's pretty much his job, and I'm pretty sure you can actually do a living on it if you get about 20 to 25,000 views, and it has around that scale of subs he has.
Huh, alright. Yeah, I think he's at uni at the moment, which is amazing, because he's 16 or 17 or something like that.
He is 16.
That's weird. You could never go to university that early, or that young over
I
here,
think
or in America either.
well, yeah, I think that's kind of the. I'm not sure if it's university, but he's still going in school. I'm not sure if it's university or what else, but yeah.
But I mean, he's at the stage where he has that many subscribers that he could just release one video every week or something like that.
Well,
And he finds scambaiting real easy, so he could probably do that and make decent money off of that if he wanted to.
yeah, but I think also you can't just upload a video every week, because that's not enough. You need maybe upload every second day or something like that.
Yeah, that's something I could actually do if I could find pop-ups, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure actually yes, Hoxhotel, he wants to do YouTube full time. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure he wants to. I think I found it on his page and about page. He also wants to do it on full time. Because
I think he could. I forget how many subscribers Hoxhotel has, but
like
he's very
60,
talented
000.
anyway.
Yeah, but what I think about is Hoxhotel. I think the kind of is that he is not so much. I mean, he could, but he does a lot. I mean, Hoxhotel, he does a great job in doing his videos. I think he's one of the most talented scam baiter. Really put a lot of effort in putting subtitles and kind of animating it with Photoshop.
Yeah.
Or what else he's using. But
that's what stands out to me. Like when I watch that stuff, like where he does the money flip stuff, for example, it's like the conversation's good enough, but all the little cartoon stuff and the faces and stuff that he does, yeah, that's really good.
And the thing I don't think he can, which I mean maybe he could, but it's taking too long time. He can maybe produce 2 videos or 1 video every second day, because that would be maybe too stressful. He needs some more subscribers. I think that's why.
I mean, he's probably been doing that animation stuff for a while, so for me to do something like that probably take me 2 weeks on just one video, but for him, yeah, he could probably get a video out every second day.
I don't think so, because maybe the animation is not what it takes. I don't know anything about this, but this is maybe my conclusion. This kind of subtitling, it takes a long time.
Yeah, anytime I start to add titles onto my videos, it starts chewing up my time. Like I could subtitle every single word on videos, but I swear to God, it would. If the call went on for 1 hour, it would probably, I don't know how long. I'm just guessing. I can't even guess how long it would take me. But you have to type up every single title and then make a copy of it, and usually I'm fading them in and out as well each time they show up, just to be easier on the eyes as well. So yeah, that can take time.
Well, I think we should end it here. Do you have anything else to input on it? I mean,
nah. I mean, me personally, I'm probably going to take a break for a few days from the scambaiting thing.
Yeah,
I'm a bit drained of it, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
But I'll probably. Sorry, just one more thing. I'll probably revisit Jupiter if I can, because I think they just became my new arch nemesis. These people are scum.
Yeah.
So I'll just leave it there.
Yeah.